What's up guys, it's Emperor with another video. This one's going to be a bit longer, unedited, mostly for my friends, unscripted as well. But I wanted to show you how I set up my Firefox profile to get the maximum performance and privacy possible out of it. First I'm going to be showing you exactly what the setup is. Then I'm going to be showing you how you can build the profile by yourself, because I think it's important for you to understand like what goes into it. To do it yourself, you know, to make sure that your browser is secure because you're the one who built it. I think it's important for a browser to be secure and open source because it's so much of like a fundamental piece of software that you use day to day. And then I will also be providing the profile or a default profile to get you started if you wish to trust me, you know, just to save you a bit of work basically. I'll provide that as well. Feel free to put on your own music as well. One thing I really hate is long tutorials where they have music and you can't put on your own. All right, now let's get started here. My window is open, so if you hear birds or whatever, that's probably what that is. A core feature of this browser is the containers. What containers are basically, think of them as individual browser storage. So basically, the way Chrome works is that it will sandbox everything into its own process. And you can see this if you've ever gone to, say, Task Manager and you've noticed you've got all these processes. Well, Chrome will do this too. These will contain the tabs within their own CPU processes so that on the CPU, everything's segmented and it helps secure the CPU from attacks. What Firefox does is it takes it a step further, and what it does is it segments the storage as well as the CPU process. And so this is what containers are, is they're separate storage areas that the browser puts certain websites you can dictate into different storage areas. This will let you segregate trackers and cookies into their own containers along with the websites you assign to them. And this is what Firefox multi-account containers are. Let's start with my extensions. I'm just going to go through them alphabetically. What I use. I use BetterTTV. This is a fundamental extension everyone uses if they're watching Twitch. It will enable you to see GIF emotes, which are very important to Twitch culture. It'll allow you to see basically the emotes that Twitch won't approve, but people still like to use. It's kind of the short of it. Bypass paywalls, pretty self-descriptive. I'm a journalist major, so sometimes I need to get sources from Huffington Post, New York Times, and I don't necessarily want to pay for those subscriptions, although I do pay some subscriptions for Epic Times. Here's Canvas Blocker. This basically makes your browser more private. There's a very technical explanation for it, but there's several extensions that do that, and if you want me to get more technical about it, I'd be happy to if you asked. This is Cookie Auto Delete. This is a primary feature of the browser setup that I use. So what it does is it will auto delete cookies after a certain period of which you have closed the tab. So I have it set up to where it will delete any cookies, all cookies related to a website or whatever, 30 seconds after I close the browser tab. And what that allows me to do is have like a 30-second grace period of which I can, you know, press Control-Shift-T and reopen the tab in case I need to go back to that website before it, you know, all the cookies are nuked. This is decentralize. This is another with a very technical explanation of what it does, but it basically decentralizes content delivery networks and puts them on your local machine. This is just like an emoji cheat sheet extension, just for me to like quickly reference emojis. This is Facebook Container. This is a first-party plugin by Mozilla. What it will do is every time you visit a website that has a Facebook plugin, you know you've got those buttons that say, you know, cross-post to Facebook and stuff like that. Well, those actually do contain Facebook trackers, and so what this container attempts to do is to contain them globally everywhere, and to make sure that Facebook is contained within its own container. I use Firefox as well. Firefox is a little dated. It used to be more useful in the past. It's just this little flag in the upper right here that tells you, Google search link fix. Whenever you search something in Google, it'll add extra trackers to it. And same thing for like cross posting, like network APIs and whatnot. Basically, makes your browser more private. HTTPS everywhere. This is from the EFF Foundation. And basically what it does is it just makes sure that HTTPS is always enabled, and will force it or provide extra support on websites where it isn't. This is KeyPass, or rather Key. This is like the plugin for my password manager, KeyPass. Of course, not going to pull that up because it has my passwords and whatnot, but basically it'll just autofill the passwords in my browser. This is Reddit Enhancement Suite. This is another community standard plugin for Reddit. So you have better TTV for Twitch TV, community standard. Everyone basically uses it. This is the same for Reddit. Everyone basically uses Reddit Enhancement Suite, and it just allows extra features, like you can add shortcuts on the top here to different subreddits you have. It has really cool features for tracking comments. So, all sorts of core features. There's hotkeys. There's so much things that even I don't even know or use really. But the main reason I use it is to basically have endless Reddit, because what it'll do is it will automatically load at the end page for this, kind of like it on mobile, where it's like endless basically. I am using old Reddit. I am kind of a troglodyte like that, so maybe that's why it's not working. Anyway, this is Stylus. Stylus is like a CSS replacement engine. So what CSS is CSS is the language that dictates what websites look like as far as styling. So you have HTML, and then you also have CSS, which dictates the colors and how things exactly look like. And if I can find it, let's see here. Yes, these are all different styles. Half of these I've probably written by myself, but the others you can find are readily available online. And I'll link in the description different sites of where you can find repositories of like CSS or like JavaScript. So this is temporary containers. It adds extra functionality to the temporary containers feature native in Firefox. So every time I open a new tab, it's containing it. This one's named in the upper right hand corner, temporary container 7878. This is 7879, and so on. So every time I press in Control T, opening new tabs, and searching things in that tab, it's opening in a new container, separate in browser and process from everything else. Greatly increasing the privacy of the browser. This is Twitch Now. Twitch Now is an extension I use. Basically, what I primarily use to browse like the Twitch directory and whatnot. You can do top streams. You can browse by games. You can add favorite games and view them here. And then here's my follows list. And I mostly, native follows page has gotten better. In fact, I might recommend you use that, but I've just been doing this for a while, so I use it. This is uBlock Origin. This is my ad blocker. uBlock Origin is it's another one of those containers or those extensions where it's basically the default consensus for the community, and that is because it aggregates community-driven block lists that are constantly updated for new trackers, new ad agencies, things of that nature. All of this is open source. All of this is easily available, community-driven, community-maintained, basically. You can also add custom filters, custom rules. This is Violent Monkey. This is my... So what it is it allows you to use what's called a user script. So a user script is a program written in JavaScript for modifying web pages and augmenting the browser. There's many different user scripts out here. This is the site most people use is Greasy Fork. It also has some CSS on this website as well for the stylus extension. I've got one that says download media manager. This allows me to download or view things from Instagram. So if I go to Instagram, I can right click on any image and actually get the image itself. It'll also work on stories. Just be aware that it is a very powerful engine, so whenever you're downloading a script, make sure you have some fundamental knowledge of how Java works. Just some very, very, very basic. I don't program in Java very much at all, but very basic knowledge. That way you know that whatever the browser's doing, that you trust, because this will get complete access to whatever it's allowed to access. All right, so those are my extensions. I have also set up to where I have a custom Chrome folder. Now, what a Chrome folder is, it's not the same as the browser Chrome, but what a Chrome folder is the custom CSS for the browser itself. So you can change Firefox to look any way you want. So I have a custom Firefox skin, quote unquote, called Shadowfox, and I've customized it with different colors or whatnot. The default dark mode on Firefox is pretty good, but this allows me to like change things like colors. I really like the orange and dark colors. It just looks nice to me. This will also change the browser tabs to be rounded like they are in Chrome, as well as to change some of the extension pages to the dark mode theme as well. So now I'm going to show you how you can set up your own profile from scratch. So first thing you want to do is you're going to want to Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever Firefox all. That'll bring you to this URL right here. Firefox US Firefox /all. This will just make sure you're downloading the 64-bit version in English US version correctly. So click that, click download, install, and then you can also, when you install, tick or untick the Mozilla Service Manager. What that'll do is it'll automatically download updates in the background for yourself. If you think that's a bit intrusive, you can unclick that. I choose to leave it on. It's fine. I trust Mozilla, which of course I think you would if you're using their browser. So next you're going to want to create a new profile in Firefox. You can do this anytime you need to refresh your Firefox, or perhaps you would like to have a different profile every time you stream, because you don't necessarily want to have sensitive information on screen. This is the way to do it. Press Windows R, pull up the run prompt, and enter Firefox /P with the P flag. And this will pull up your user profile creator. You're going to want to, there should be something called default release here originally, but you're going to want to create a new profile so that it's named something you recognize when you open up the directory. So click next, enter your profile name. I'm going to name this Tutorial Master. And by default, it'll save in the app data roaming directory, Mozilla Firefox profiles. I would keep it there. Everything just moves pretty smooth when you keep it there. So that's what I do. Next, open up Firefox or any browser really, and go to ffprofile.com. What this is this will put together a good starting place as far as settings and add-ons. There's a lot of technical information here. I encourage you to read what all these options do. So I'm going to show you what to change on this page. All this is all right. Click Save Next. All of this is all right. Click Save Next. On this page, under Privacy, you're going to want to unclick Disable Offline Cache for performance reasons. You're going to want to unclick Disable Speculative Website Loading for performance reasons. And you're going to untick Disable WebGL so that you can play browser games like Scribbler.io or anything like that. It will also spoof your GPU when you play games like that as well. So don't worry. Click Save Next. Under website tracking, you can choose to unclick disable media device queries. Especially because of COVID, you might want to take proctored tests or something online that requires your webcam. If you untick this, you might be able to get the connect. Though my experience is a lot of extensions, proctored extensions require Chrome anyway, so I'd encourage you to use Chrome for things of that nature. Click Save Next. Under Security, untick Disable Automatic Updates so that you receive updates from Mozilla. Save Next. Under Add-ons, untick Install the Privacy Badger extension and click Install Cookie Auto Delete extension. Click Save Next. All of this is for if you're downloading the enterprise version of Firefox, which we are not, so we're just going to click Save Next. And then under Finish Downloading, we're going to click down the first option here, Download Profile.zip. And we're going to save and download it. In the upper right hand corner, if you're using Firefox, right click and click Open Container Containing Folder, and it'll bring up where you downloaded. We're going to extract that to a folder. Now that we have extracted this to a folder, we're going to find where Firefox keeps our profiles. This is very important. Click the hamburger icon in the upper right. Click Help. Click Troubleshooting Information. This should appear. And this option here, it says Profile Folder. You're going to click this button here that says Open Folder. This is our profile folder. This is where Firefox stores everything. Make sure that Firefox is completely closed. Then you're going to want to select all or Control A and delete everything. This will get rid of the default profiles that it creates. And we are going to then replace it with the one we just created. So I'm going to hit Shift Delete. This will permanently delete everything. Then we're going to take the extensions and prefs.gfs that we just extended, and we're going to cut or copy it to this folder, and then we're going to launch Firefox. A message should appear from Canvas Locker extension. We're going to click the first option here and hit Apply. Once that's done, we can close this out, and we are ready to start customizing the browser. Hit the hamburger icon, go to Options, go to Home. This will customize what's on our new tab page. What I do is I unselect Recommended by Pocket and Highlights and Snippets. For top sites, I do 4 rows. Click Control T or click New Tab up here. And to get rid of this Welcome to Firefox thing, in the upper right hand corner, there should be an X right here. There will also be a default set of search profiles and sites already pinned here. Feel free to dismiss any of these that you don't use. I'm also going to go back to Options and hit Search and change my default to DuckDuckGo. You may choose Google if you wish. My browser setup will contain Google just fine, but I prefer DuckDuckGo. Press Restore Previous Session and warn when quitting browser. Next, we're going to create and sign into a Firefox account. This will enable you to sync stuff like bookmarks and history. Click the hamburger icon, click Sign into Firefox, and then click Sign into Firefox again. This will bring this up. Enter your email, and then enter a password. And then you can ignore this prompt, and you have successfully signed into Firefox. You may also get berated by messages from extensions we've installed via the profile folder. Just disregard these. Next, I'm going to show you how to get to the add-ons page. So click the hamburger icon, click add-ons. You can also click CTRL-Shift-A to do the same thing. These are the 4 add-ons that we installed. I'm going to now install the missing add-ons that I had earlier, and I'll put the list on screen right now and also in the description. For bypass paywall Firefox, I've just DuckDuckGo'd or Googled it, and you're going to go to this GitHub page right here. Click download install latest version, click continue installation, click add. This will bring you to a list of paywalls you wish to untick if you want to support them via ads. But I usually just leave everything on. Click save, and you're done. Verify that your extension list looks like something like this. Next, I'm going to show you how you can customize the placement of the extension icons. Click hamburger icon, click customize, and click anything you don't want to commonly use up here into the overflow menu. I have mine set up like so. I take the emoji and I drag it up here. You can also drag any extensions you'd like over here, or really anywhere with this customization menu. But I usually keep mine here. I take this this icon. This is the multi-accounts icon to manage your Firefox multi-accounts, and I drag it over to here. I also drag downloads, and I put it to the left of that. And then I move my back and forth buttons over to here. I get rid of home button, and I move refresh button over to the left, and I get rid of this dead space right here. You can also add flexible space to anywhere you'd like in the browser. It'll just give some space there. And then I also remove that flexible space right there. You may also customize the theme between light and dark at the bottom here, and also the density of the browser elements themselves. Once you are done with that, click escape. If you ever wish to access the extensions, you drag down, click these arrows right here, and this will bring up the extended menu right here. I'm now going to show you how to set up your extension options. Starting with cookie auto delete, click the hamburger icon here and click options. Go to cookie settings, untick show notifications after cookie cleanup, and click enable automatic cleaning and enter 30 seconds. Enter exceptions for websites used commonly the most that you wish to remain logged in. For example, hit Shift 8 to bring up the wildcard, and hit Instagram.com and hit whitelist. This will keep the storage for Instagram so that you do not get logged out. However, everything will still be contained. Do this for every website you wish to remain logged in. It is also important that you click enable support for Firefox container tabs. To configure our ad blocker uBlock, click the dot next to it and click options. Under settings, click I am an advanced user. Go to filters lists. Here you will see all the community driven filters which you may enable. For safe measure, click purge all caches and update now. This will make sure that all of the lists are at the latest versions. In the future, it'll do this automatically. Click the regions and drop down languages menu. Here, if you read any sites in any other particular languages, you can click these to block ads that are done in foreign languages. I've used some Russian sites, so I'm gonna click that right now. Now for the finishing touches of the browser itself, we're going to edit some configuration values. So go to your bar and enter about :config. Click accept, rest, and continue. We are going to edit some of these values. So enter full-screen-api.transition.timeout. And for most of these, I'm just going to put them up on screen right now. Click the pencil edit button and enter 0 space 0. Also enter this value here. Edit 0 0. This value here 0. This value here 0. And this value here 0. What you just did is disable the full screen warning whenever you full screen video on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere else. Next, enter this value, toggle true to false. What this allows you to do is browse via hotkeys, which I'll get into towards the end of the video. Next, enable your Chrome folder by entering this. and changing the boolean to true. Next, I'm going to show you how to install custom styles in dark modes on various websites. Go to the stylus icon wherever you put it. I put mine in the drop-down bar here. Click Stylus. Click Manage. This will pull up the Installed Styles tab. Go to any style on various websites. This is userstyles.org. This right here is a dark slate theme for Amazon.com. Click Install Style. Click OK. And if you go back here, you should see dark slate should pull up here. You can click the arrow icon here to open up the style, its website. You can also click on it to view its code. Everything should be in the dark slate theme. Product pages look so much better. There are various user styles that I use and will compile in the final profile for you to download if you wish. I've now enabled my Chrome folder and have put my custom configurations in there. This has changed my colors, and it also has rounded my tabs. I will put a copy of my Chrome folder in the description if you wish to review it, but I'm not going to go over it in detail here since it is CSS and there's no risk of really harming your browser. It is at this point that you're ready to set up your containers and your accounts. Click the container icon, click Get Started, Next, 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 Next. Start syncing. If you haven't already signed in, I'm gonna click Not Now for this purpose. Right here, you have a set of precompiled defaults. We're gonna go ahead and delete all of these, except for the Facebook. Click Edit Containers and press the trash can icon next to them. Now to set up our first account. New container. Enter the account name. This one will be for Reddit. Click a color and click an icon. Press OK. Now click Reddit container. Once you do that, a new container will open. You can see that it's a container in the top right here. Enter the address of the site and go ahead and log into that site. Once logged in, click Containers. Click Always Open in the site or container that you named. Then close the tab. Next, reopen the site and click Remember My Decision for this site. Open in Reddit container. This will make sure that Firefox always remembers what sites go to which containers. Keep doing this for every account you wish to remain logged in at. Now to show you how to do temporary containers. Install the extension Temporary Containers. Once you install, this page should pop up. Click Show Pop-up when clicking icon. Next, click Isolation. Click Exclude Target Domains. And click any website that might redirect you to another website that requires cookies. For example, when you buy stuff from a site, it might redirect you to PayPal to confirm those accounts. So enter paypal.com and hit Exclude. This will allow PayPal to share storage and cookies with the site that you're trying to buy stuff from. The same should be done with twitch.tv. Next, click the multi-account containers and enable. It is at this point that you have set up your temporary containers. Each time you open a new tab, regardless, will open a new temporary container. Congratulations. The caveat to this is in order to add more containers and more accounts, you must first disable the temporary containers. So go to your add-ons and disable the extension. Now you're free to add whatever account you need. I'm going to add an account for Twitch. I'm going to open that and enter twitch.tv. Make sure that it always opens in this container. And then I'm going to log in. Once you have logged in, you may now re-enable temporary containers. While we're at Twitch, I'm going to show you my settings for better Twitch TV. Click your profile in the upper right and click the Better Twitch TV or Better TTV settings. These are the settings and their explanations. This is my current configuration. Last, I'm going to give you a crash course in some of the hotkeys in Firefox. To open a new tab, you may also press CTRL T, and to close that tab, press CTRL W. This allows you to open and close tabs at will rather quickly. If you open a tab, but accidentally close it, you can press CTRL Shift T, and it'll reopen the tab. Shift is the modifier to undo most everything. Instead of clicking on each tab to switch them, which costs precious time, you can press CTRL Tab to quickly cycle through all the tabs you have. Press CTRL Shift Tab to toggle to the previous tab, and so forth. This allows you to tab very quickly through all the tabs that you have open. And congratulations, you have successfully set up your profile for Firefox. Finally, here's a little side rant. It's come to my attention that a lot of people don't understand that poggers, all capitals, is an actual emote. If we enter poggers, we realize that this is what comes up under a Better TTV global channel emote. This will appear on any broadcaster who has enabled global emotes for this extension. Please tell me why the frack anyone would just spam poggers in the chat and it not be an emote in just all capitals like that. I do not understand why anyone would assume it. It is an emote. Poggers.